You know, it's funny. I was just watching Southern Nordics video he came out with, and I'll put a link down in the comments. You guys watch that. But, he was sharing that he had been raised a Christian, and that over time, he even said he wasn't much of a Christian. He was very honest he always is very honest in his videos, and I like that. But he was relaying the point that he had been raised a Christian, and that it never set right with him, and it always gave him problems. He could never figure himself out, and it was just caused internal conflict. And he gave various reasons for that. Real good stuff. But he said that he came to the realization that reincarnation was real to him, and that helped him out, and that eased his mind and his soul. Watching that, and I wasn't going to make a video today. I was going to release one that I made the other day. But watching his video, it triggered me a little bit there, because I, too, believe in reincarnation. And strangely, because I do follow the teachings of Christ. And there are various reasons for that. Just I happen to do, that's what I have. And he was very, very careful not to tread on anybody's religions, and I'm going to do the same. He believes in the Norse religions, and that's fine. But the thing is that I was going to convey to you guys how it came to be that I, eased my mind years ago. I was probably around his age as well. And I'll never forget, I went to breakfast with my mother, and what happened was we went to some little cafe or something. We were just talking, and she said, and we had discussed these things years prior, but, I was younger, and I guess I just wasn't ready for it. But at that time, whenever we had this discussion, this has been 20 years ago, but she said, you do realize that we probably picked, this life to be together, and we downloaded into this version of the world. I'm paraphrasing for her, but in as many words, she said, we probably chose to be here with each other. And we had already lived other lives. And she's a Christian, but she had no problem believing that we would come back. And that, so what I did was I've taken her views, and I started to believe that way myself. I started to say to myself, it's true. I bet we did. I'm sure we did know each other in past lives, or however you want to say it. It's hard to put in your thoughts into words sometimes whenever you're talking about things like this. But I started to believe that way, and over the years, I've crafted my own thoughts on this, all these subjects. And what I think is that, simply put, we download into this matrix, and we get to, sometimes I guess we get to choose who we're going to be with. And we find that when we go through this life, we are here for reasons, to learn and to feel and to understand things better. And we choose the right people to be around in our lifetime, so that we can learn from them and teach them in turn. And that makes me feel better. And that eased my spirit. And Southern, he said, basically the same. He said his spirit was eased from that, and that his life has been better. It's been more simple. And I have to agree. That conversation with my mother back years ago changed my life, because she's the one that, when I was 9 years old, initially led me to Christ. And then, 20 years later, she tells me that we could be reincarnated, and flip my worldview on its head, and just came out with it matter-of-factly, like she had always believed it. And I guess she had. But it makes sense to me that I believe, though, that our ancestors are always with us, and we are our ancestors. And we never have to worry about going to heaven to see them or anything like that, because they're with us. And our friends and our people we love through life, they'll always be with us, in new lives that we choose to be in different things. It's really mind stretching. But, he had said there were hints of things all around us that would show us the truths, because a lot of these ancients, they don't like to show you, they can't just come out and tell you the truth a lot of the times, because a lot of the books and things that were spoken of thousands of years ago were illegal in their time, so they had to write it in codes, kind of like we do now, talk about the tribe, or we talk about this or that, and it has to be done in, joggers. I mean, all these codes we have to use. And if you didn't know what we were talking about, you'd be like, well, these people are speaking Greek. And so anyway, I was also, for the last few days, really the last few months, I've been drawn to monuments all around the world, your pyramids in all the different continents that they're on, and your mounds, things of that nature. Here in America, we have mounds, and there are some in Arkansas and Oklahoma, of course, and Ohio. But we all have these structures all over the world, and I think that's nothing more than this world gets reset every few thousand years, I suppose, every few 10,000 years, I don't know. But it gets reset and it gets wiped clean. And certain people are able to live through it and come out on the other side. And when they do, they're the rulers. They're the new rulers usually, they're the ones that can set the religion, the initial religions, and they're the ones that can set the time and the concept of time and writing and whatnot, symbols that we use. And but when as far as these ancient structures, they're all made out of stone, obviously, because metal would rust away, plastic wouldn't work. It has to be made out of stone, so that the people, after the reset, will know that there were others that had insane technology that we could hardly understand today. It's still up in the air how these things were even built. And they do these things because they want the people in the future to know that they were there, and that there's something to strive for. And so I feel like that this epoch of time, this particular version of the Matrix, as it were, is a complete failure, because we found the pyramids in Egypt, and I think that they are engineering marvels that are machines, some kind of water station that makes a hydroelectric plant, for lack of a better word, that kind of thing mixed with vibrational technologies. And I want to do more videos on that in the future. But what I was getting at is that we were a failure because, unfortunately, we were never able to figure out how these things worked. And if we did, nobody told us, and the people didn't even bother to ask. Not the mass of humanity didn't. They didn't demand that we were told, and that the secrets of all these ancients were given to us. They were kept from us, because knowledge is power. So, guys, that's what I had for you today. Just a thought. I watched that video. I just got done watching it, and I made my own, while it was fresh on my mind. And that's what this channel has always been about, just thoughts, just my thoughts. Interactions with you guys and how that goes. But I haven't done a longer video in a while, so I wanted to give you guys a few minutes and get you guys' feedback on that. And, I know sometimes it's hard when I tell some people, hey, you know what, I'm a Christian who also believes in reincarnation, amongst a bunch of other things, and it's a hodgepodge. It's not really new age, but some people would say it was. But the thing is that I love getting you guys' feedback on stuff like this, because it's important to me, because I'm no more right than anybody else in the world. I mean, when it comes to, theological discussions, how could anyone really know anything? Okay? So anyway, that's what it is. It is what it is. And but I hate, guys, watch that Southern Nordic video, and that guy has a way about him that I really like. I trust. And he's a good man, I can tell. He just wants the truth. He wants serenity. I like that. I like that a lot. And in this day and age, I think it's extraordinarily important. I mean, we're living in what the Vedics, the people believe that this is the Kali Yuga, the end of time. I'm one of those. I believe that too. My grandfather was a doctor and a missionary in India for 27 years there. And I learned a great deal from him and about the Hindus and their belief systems and whatnot. And very much in tune with that. But like I said, I still do believe I clutch onto the Jesus. I was raised that way. And if you don't like it, and if you don't like, Christianity, and you think it's a Jewish religion that is used to control the masses, hey, nobody argued more about that than me. No, I went completely atheist for about 10 years there. And during the age that a lot of guys that I'm noticing have a problem with Christianity, during the age that they're in it. And I fought with it too. And that's why whenever Nordic made that video, it hit me pretty hard, because I feel that. I feel what he was going through, and I know I did too. And so I had to just come full circle and say, you know what? I'm just going to go with the Jesus one. It's the one I know the best. It's the one I believe. And, what are beliefs but cutting off your... A lot of times people don't realize that when you have a belief, you really kill your brain, because all you do is you say, now I have something I can grasp onto and hold onto, and I can shut my mind down to anything else. There's no need for me to worry about anything else, because now I'm on a straight and narrow. Well, see, I'm not that guy. I hold things that I have thoughts on, and you could call them beliefs, but it's not precisely what they are. They're just thoughts. That's all you really have, guys. It's just thoughts. A fleeting thought in your mind that you can hold on to and think about every day or every minute or every year in your cycles. And it comes back around, And the more you think on it, the more the cycles, Some cycles are massive and some are tiny. So anyway, a lot of people like these disjointed videos. Try to do videos different ways, but the only way that I like to do them is disjointed, guys. Jack Torrance special. Let's get it together.